Defense attorneys will ask a judge tomorrow to disqualify the person acting as the top federal prosecutor in Southern California. A motion filed in 3 criminal cases says Bill Essayli was never properly appointed and has overstayed the time allowed for a temporary office holder. Our investigative reporter Eric Leonard is live in the newsroom with more on what this could mean for his cases, including last week's arrest of the suspected arsonist for the Palisades fire. Eric.
Hi, Colleen. Well, attorneys from the Federal Public Defender's Office say the person who's been running the U.S. Attorney's Office since April can no longer legally run that office, and they say he should be removed. We're talking about Bill Essayli, who refers to himself right now as the acting U.S. Attorney. If the defense lawyers succeed, as other lawyers have in nearly identical challenges in Nevada and New Jersey, it could lead to the dismissal of criminal cases and other criminal cases.
According to the defense lawyers' court filings, former state assemblyman Bill Essayli has no legal authority to run the U.S. Attorney's Office for the Central District of California. They've asked a judge to disqualify Essayli, who's seen here in previous appearances, and dismiss 3 criminal cases brought under his tenure. In a motion set to be argued in court tomorrow, they say Essayli wasn't properly appointed and has stayed long after his plausible interim appointment by the Attorney General should have expired. Essayli resigned as interim U.S. Attorney in July. He was immediately redesignated as a first assistant U.S. Attorney and remains in that role. The Justice Department argues in its court filings that should sidestep the rules limiting temporary office holders. The federal government's response even seems to acknowledge there's something not quite right about Essayli's tenure, writing, "Whether or not Mr. Essayli technically qualifies as acting United States Attorney, the Attorney General has validly delegated to him the authority to supervise pending prosecutions and other matters in the office."
So already those judges in New Jersey and Nevada have begun to consider invalidating criminal cases there after ruling that those U.S. attorneys weren't installed legally and they weren't allowed to be in those roles. So if the judge here tomorrow were to disqualify Essayli, it could jeopardize, undermine, throw a wrench into a bunch of criminal cases that were brought while he was in office, potentially including last week's arrest of an alleged arsonist who Essayli said to blame for igniting the Palisades fire. Essayli was unavailable for comment today. He previously has declined to comment on this because the case is being argued by other lawyers in the Justice Department. Back to you in the studio.